Oh, hey, what's going, guys? Well, back today with a post E3 podcast, geekcast, whatever the hell you call these things. Hopefully, I don't creep you out or annoy you too bad with my mannerisms and way of speaking, or whatever that is. Anyway, today's topics are going to be we're going to talk about the Xbox One 80 and the PS4, of course, and kind of talk about Apple iOS 7 and how these tech sites still think Apple's gonna be the biggest player in the console wars. Which, stop drinking their Kool-Aid, man. Seriously, no. And we'll just kind of touch on Android and the Google Play Store versions of HTC One and the Samsung S4. So first off, we heard last week, or maybe it was the week before, Microsoft's basically 180 on the DRM and 24-hour check-in on the Xbox One. Go internet, go gamers. Way to speak up and actually go Microsoft for actually listening to us, which I think they're forced to. If they would have went with their plan, I honestly think that they would have sold pretty horribly initially. I think the price is still gonna be a big factor. I mean, come on, remember the PS3 and the $599? Seriously, really? I mean, it's kind of funny to see how all the previous generation winner, or I guess the person with in power, I guess, how they get arrogant and think that they can force anything they want onto us gamers, who are the ones that support you. Don't screw us. We pay enough already for everything. So that's good. Go Microsoft. One downfall though, like a lot of other analysts have mentioned about Microsoft and their marketing, how the hell did anyone think that was a great idea? And how they talked about the releases of the Xbox One and its DRM and check-ins. I mean, at least Sony, was smart about it, not saying anything until they played off of the negative energy and, well, won E3 handily, I think, with their announcements. Sure, you have to pay for PSN multiplayer gaming with PSN Plus, but with PSN Plus, not only do you get free games, people always forget that you get cloud game saves. I don't know about you guys, but it sucks when your console dies and every game save is gone with it. Or you can't copy it to an SD card because it's copy protected. So very cool. Another thing people don't realize either, you got, background system updates, game updates, and demo downloads through PSN Plus. So, just saying. I love it. I mean, it's worth it in my opinion. And, Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, all those video streaming apps don't require PSN Plus, unlike Microsoft's Xbox Gold. That's why I don't own a 360 anymore. And also, I don't have faith in Microsoft's GUI designs and their user feedback to make it a better service. People don't remember you need a damn set-top box for DVRing or for, just cable viewing. I mean, it's all it is an overlay like the Wii U TV app is, which is horrible, of course, but, Nintendo's a little out of touch with modern day media and how to, control media and anything in that regard, social media. So, PS4, Sony. You want to win this generation handily? Here's how you do it. $4.99 games for $49.99. That's how you sell your games. $10 cheaper too than the Xbox Ones. I mean, it totally worked for you in the PlayStation 1 era. I mean, the N64 was cartridge-based games. Cartridge-based games are very expensive. I mean, they're physical boards in a actual piece of plastic housing with a battery and everything else. I mean, they basically sold their games at $29.99, while N64 games were probably about $59, I remember correctly. I remember paying $59 for Secret of Mana for the Super Nintendo. So, they won that generation. They killed it. That's what established them as a gaming console. Also, as a side geek gaming note, the reason why Sony got into gaming was because they had partnered originally with Nintendo to create a Super Nintendo CD drive that never came to fruition and just got scrapped. And in turn, Sony said, screw you, we're enjoying this game, we're going to enter it. And look at them now. So go Sony. And of course, that was back in the 3DO, Philips CDI, the Jaguar, all those consoles that totally failed because they had no games. So, moving on from that fun gaming tidbit. iOS 7 and Apple. Looks good. Nothing amazing though. I mean, Jelly Bean on Android is, in my opinion, way better. More unified theme throughout the whole OS. given that the manufacturer doesn't skin it differently. Um, Access to controls. I mean, we've had toggle controls from the notification center since 2.1, I think it was, or 2.0 even. So you gotta love it. Um, yeah, and I think we're really seeing the post slump of Steve Jobs not being with Apple anymore. I mean, the thing that Steve Jobs could do that no other CEO could do at a company was that he could see a plan go from basically a product go from idea to concept to production and have full control over each of those phases. Right now, you don't have that in a game company or any electronic or tech company. It's very rare to see, actually, and they should think about it more. If you find a visionary that can see the future, let them design it all the way through. But again, those people are few and far between. So, iOS 7 fall, yeah, it's gonna take a while. It'll sell like gangbusters for a while. The iPhone 5S, whatever they're gonna call it. Release cycles though for Apple really need to get sped up to twice a year. Android just kills them that way. By the time their stuff's out, Android has the same thing released the week before or a month before with twice the specs or the same specs. So we'll see. But one thing Google is doing, which is a beautiful thing, and I still believe that the Nexus 1 was not a failure but a total success in that it forced all the handset makers to up their game in what they brought to the Android world. Instead of making cheap, crap, slow phones, they brought their A game and made premium handsets. And in turn, I also like to see that Google's now releasing the HTC One Developer Edition or Google Play Store Edition that is basically stock Android, along with Samsung releasing their Galaxy S4 on there too. The nice thing is that the Google Wallet apps will work because they're not carrier branded devices. Also, the IMEIs are not in the carrier databases, so they can't block it then. And I believe the build props will probably be different than what we see on the T-Mobile, Verizon, Sprint, and AT&T versions of such phones. So yay, go. Finally, Minnesota, man. We've been having some nasty storms, and last year I funded a Kickstarter called the ReadySet Charger. It's made by Phoenix International. And basically what it is a cheap, off-the-grid solar charging solution. You get a solar charger and a nice big battery pack. So basically last weekend I used the ReadySet to charge my iPad mini, powered a USB fan, and also was able to power another light I had with it. So definitely a good solution for off the grid. And I think that's about all I got for you guys today. So hopefully it wasn't too annoying or creepy or whatever you want to say. And maybe we'll see you next week, guys and gals. Take care. Peace.